How you doing, Fan Bam? This is Chris Mizo here, and I got a really exciting video for you, Fan Bam, because we are going to install a NVMe inside of a PlayStation 5. It's not going to be just any NVMe. It's going to be MSI's Spatium M480. And this drive is 2 terabytes. It comes with a heatsink, generation 4, and on top of it, this goes up to 7,000 megabytes per second. And that's what you want, especially when you are looking for an NVMe inside of a gaming console. MSI makes excellent products, and I am excited to open this up for you guys. Take off this plastic here, and it comes with MSI's beautiful heatsink right here, as you can see. Isn't that just a beautiful sight right there? You can see it gets plenty of cooling because of the separation between the fins. And of course, back here is your thermal paste, and you will peel this when you do cover your NVMe, which I will show you in a second. You have your MSI Spatium M480 NVMe 4.0 right here, and this will be the slot you will install it in. This will also contain the thermal paste on the bottom too, because it has to have thermal paste on both sides. Now I'll show you exactly how to do it, and it's really not too difficult. And of course, you have M2 screws. You do not want to lose these. This is going to be pretty vital to your project here. You're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. You will also need this on PlayStation 5 when you do install it. So let's get started here. So the very first step here, you're going to put the NVMe. You're going to notice a hole here. What you have to do with that hole is you're going to have to match it up. You might have to slide it through the back just like this. Yep, it should slide in just like that, and it should sit right where that hole is. You're going to want to sit it right there. And then after on top, you just put this on top and you put all 6 screws for your heatsink. So let's get started here. Let's take off this thermal sticker here. You simply just slide it in. It'll be a little sticky, but don't mind it. It should sit right there. You'll notice it has these back fins. Just make sure it sits kind of flush up on it. Then we can take off the thermal paste here, or the heatsink, and then you just mount it on top. Just like that. As you notice, if you look closely, as you see, you have these screw holes right there, and you're gonna install all 6 of them. We'll open this up, and you wanna tighten them, but don't over tighten them. Whatever you do, you don't wanna drop them, because then it's going to be a real pain to find them. Let's grab a smaller Phillips head here. This one ain't working too good. Just snug. Doesn't have to be over tightened. And please remember to remove the covers for your thermal pads, otherwise your NVMe will not properly ventilate. Might be a good idea not to completely tighten it up, because if you do, you might run into fitment problems. Just have it nice and snug. So once you get to the final screw here, you can tighten down the rest of it. And again, make sure it's just snug. So it should be a total of 6 screws here. And now you should be all good to go. So Fan Bam, very first thing you got to do is make sure your PlayStation 5 is completely off. If it is not completely off, you can run into problems such as corrupted data, because it could be in the middle of updating and you do not want that to happen. Make sure the orange light is not glowing on your PlayStation 5. If it is, more than likely it is in standby mode. Make sure you turn on your PlayStation 5 and make sure you turn it off manually, and once it shuts off, then it's okay to disconnect. So make sure you have your PlayStation 5 controller ready. Just simply turn it on. Just go down to the power button here and just make sure you turn it off completely. As you'll notice, your PlayStation 5 will turn completely off. Press X. That screen should appear, and then we'll know our PlayStation 5 is completely off. Next, we're gonna just disconnect our PlayStation 5. Just unhook the wires like you typically would. Now, let's go install this NVMe. Now we have the NVMe ready to go right here. And we got the screwdriver, just a screwdriver this time. Got the PlayStation 5 here. And what we're gonna have to do is take off the stand first. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be a flathead. You can have a coin, but let's turn that out. If you do have one handy, make sure you use it. Take this vertical stand off. Alright, so what we're gonna do here is you're gonna make sure that your PlayStation 5, let me show you the front first. You want the optical drive facing upwards. I'm gonna face it this direction because it's just much more easier to take it off this way. We're gonna have to lift this cover up just right here. I'm gonna bend it, not really bend it, but put a little bit of pressure here, and you're gonna just slide it off because the clip goes like this. You lift it up, and you're gonna slide it off just like that. You're gonna notice a screw right there. So we're gonna simply just remove that. Once you undo it, take it out. And then that's how it's gonna look in the inside. You're gonna match up the smaller side and the bigger side. And as you notice when you look deeper into it, just like you're gonna match it up just like this. The big side goes facing up and the little side facing down. As you notice the direction of the NVMe, it is facing this direction. It is on the bottom side, the way I have it on this very video. But anyway, if you have a smaller NVMe, you can just simply set your screw on a smaller hole. It is a little bit too large to actually fit this MSI optics with the heatsink. So instead, we're gonna have to grab a modification, a smaller heatsink, which you can buy on Amazon for pretty cheap. And I will have the link right down below. And this is a good lesson to be learned because sometimes it's not gonna work. But I do have this, and this will definitely fit inside of the PlayStation 5 as it is a much more thinner heatsink and the heat spreaders are not as large. So you just open this up here and practically the same concept. And as you can see, it should be facing the same direction here. So we're gonna just undo this real quick. We're gonna make sure to put these thermal pads to use here. You simply just gotta put it right here. Right there. You just wanna line it up right there to the hole. Now that's good to go. Now with the heatsink, we do the same thing. We take the sticker off. For the thermal paste on this one, on this very kit. And we simply just set it similar just like its other one here. Now we just have to screw it together with the screws that it comes with. Nice thing about this set, it does come with a pair of its own screwdrivers here, so you can use it if you choose to. So now we know MSI's heatsink won't fit on PlayStation 5. You do have to get an aftermarket one. So it's always good to look at specifications closely. Otherwise you can make mistakes just like this. So it should look something like this. It's all completely in. So it should slide right in. And it'll connect. And see how much better of a fitment that is compared to MSI's heatsink. So next we're gonna have to take out this screw that is in here. It's gonna be a standoff and a screw. Let's see. Pretty innovative the way they came out with it. As you can see, you look closely, make sure you put that standoff screw right there. That is what will separate your NVMe from your drive, because otherwise you can possibly ground it out. So make sure to install that in there. What we have to do next is install the NVMe. And just make sure you follow the bigger side and the small side here. Install it. And you can see exactly where it has to go. It has to go to number 8 here. So make sure you put the standoff in first. As you can see, these stand off, hopefully. And now we'll tighten it in. Make sure you use a smaller screw. And you're gonna sit it right on top. Tighten it down. And there you go. Again, don't over tighten it. Should look something like that. And we're good to put the cover on now. Repeat the steps as followed. And what'll happen first is when you first install your NVMe, it will not be recognized. And the reason why is because you actually have to format it for your PlayStation 5. And I will show you exactly how to do that as we just reinstall this cover together. See how the clips are right here? These are the clips that are holding onto your PlayStation 5. Set it back. And I'll clip back in just like that. Let's reinstall this PlayStation 5. So simply just rehook your PlayStation 5 as you usually do. Now we should be good to go. So we got our M2 drive all hooked up. All we have to do is start up PlayStation 5, and I'll show you how to format your NVMe for it to be ready to go. So let's start it. So the very first thing you're gonna notice when you start up your PlayStation 5 is that it will recognize your M2 SSD, and we can format it. So we're gonna format it here. So as you can see, it has read speeds up to 5,288 megabytes per second. It can pick up those NVMe 4.0 speeds. Now you could change your installation location when you install any of your games. So we're good to go now. And if you want to check out your storage, all you have to do now is go over to your settings here. You're gonna go up here on the top. You're gonna go to storage. And as you can see, you have your M2 storage, a full 2 terabytes of space for extra games. Now you know the results if MSI's drive can actually fit in PlayStation 5, or if you needed an aftermarket one. I hope you found this content very useful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy content just like this, make sure to go down and hit the subscribe button to join the big wonderful fan band for more content like this. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for all the newest updates. Follow my Twitter handle right here. So fan band guys, how do you like MSI's drive? Let me know down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo signing out.